Hi guys. I didn't realize I was on. Um, Hope y'all are having a great weekend. Um, I really seriously just wanted to just really relax and do nothing all weekend. I really did. Um, but I turn my phone silent so I don't hear anything. I am really I'm getting ready to seriously cut down my work days because I'm getting too old to work all these 12-hour shifts and I just don't feel like it anymore. So, in my lifestyle, like I don't have to work all those hours. Like I got one kid who has a job that I'm taking care of right now that like I don't need to work that hard no more and I don't want to do it no more. But um I wanted to come make this video. Um I am trying to make it so I can get to the nail shop and come back home and sit down and do nothing because this guy just messed my nails up. Like I went to this first of all I went to this nail shop that I have to admit I was going to all the time, and then um there's actually one very close, like seriously, like right across the street from me. But I was going there to that particular nail shop because this woman, not that woman at the nail shop, but another lady does my eyelashes and my eyebrows and things like that. And so the nail shop is just like right there. So I was just going right there because it's convenient. But I never liked the way, um, I mean, I just went there but I didn't really like the way they did them. And then when I started going over here, actually across the street, my house, I love the way they did nails. I mean, they last, like seriously, my nails will last a month, close to 6 weeks. Like seriously, they last. They're nice and thin. They're not all thick and everything. They don't begin to the big thing I like is the fact that they don't like start edging up real quick. If you can see that, like I just got these done a week ago and literally within 2 or 3 days they were already coming, you could see the whole nail coming up. And it's just like it's the way that they put them on, because I noticed the difference from what the people that I really like across the street and these people that I have been going to, I see the difference in how they even apply them. And it's just, they are shape crazy. Like I don't know if you all can see this, like really, but like, do you see how this one is like more round and this one is more square? Yeah, that I mean, and I got a few nails that's like that, and it's just like I wasn't happy. I'm not nasty, mean, rude, or anything about it, but I got up when he before he even really finished, and I was just like, yeah. And it's not even that he was a dude, a guy. It's not even that, because he did my feet great. Like my feet look great, but uh yeah, the nails, like I don't know if he didn't have like a lot of practice or I don't know, but like he did not do a good job. And I've had men do my nails before and they were great. I'm not, one of those people that's like really picky and really whatever. It's just that I want you to do my nails, I'm gonna pay, I paid, I don't pay like as much as a lot of women, but like I paid a nice amount of money to get my nails done. And it's just like they're just crap. And I was really pissed. Like I was really pissed. But anyway, that's not what the video's about. The video is I was just letting y'all know that I'm getting ready to go get my nails done. But the video is, I don't even really know where to start, so I wrote notes. And like I think what I'm going to do, and excuse me a second. Um, sorry, but like, I I think I'm going to give my synopsis of the video before I really like get into it because I don't know, that's just where I want to start. But I mean, I really think this is about dating. Again, it's more um of the conversation as I'm thinking about it with the guy, that I told you, the KS guy, the follower. And his conversation and some more conversation that I heard, you know, very similar to that, this KS talk and real red pill type talk and content. Um, and it's not even about the guy. It seriously is not about the guy. It's about the rhetoric, and it's about how societal that rhetoric is becoming. And it's also about the fact that I'm right, and a lot of other women who are awakened to what's going on are right about these guys and the type of guys that listen to this type of content. And it's at the end of the day, it's just toxic. It is just really, really toxic. Um, and my synopsis is the fact that I think so much of this rhetoric, ideology, all of that can be summed up if people were to go back to actually meeting people. And I'm serious. I'm talking about like not all this online dating, not all this social media stuff. I mean, I get it. I know it's the time that we're in. People have had lots of success with online dating. I mean, I'm not even necessarily downing it, but this mindset that's out here, and I'm going to say with the women and men too, because I'm not going to just sit here and just completely downplay and just say all these guys are just crazy, delusional, and whatever. I mean, a lot of them are delusional, but I'm not going to just sit here and downplay every single thing that they say because I know some of this stuff is happening. I understand that, I'm certainly in a whole another I'm in another generation, you know. So our ideology, uh 70s, 80s babies, even maybe even some 90s babies are like the mindsets are just different. They really, I mean, things start definitely changing toward the 90s. I mean, that's not my generation at all. That's more so my son's generation, but you know, um it's still just I can't even say that because I was about to say like my son even has a very traditional type mindset. He believes in the marriage family, he's very pro black, has a beautiful black girlfriend, and I mean, and it's wonderful. But there's just something different about what's going on today in today's society. um and so I said all that to say that all of that was during a time when people were still more so meeting people face to face, meeting people, going out, meeting people, what have you. Now, there's still, even with that, there were still a lot of issues with people where people met because you still had the club guy, the club. woman, whatever, and she was ratchet and whatever. And it's almost really kind of almost the same thing if you look at it. But I'm not going to get into that. The video's not about that. But um, I think people not getting to know each other enough is a lot of this problem. And a lot of these problems could be solved by people getting back into really actually meeting. And even if they do meet online or something like that, all of this texting gotta go. I mean, you can't see a person's true nature or even hear the tone and reflections in their voice and everything by texting. Just texting. I mean, that's like it's so impersonal. And I mean, even if you meet online, at least talk on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like you can meet online, but talk on the phone. Get to know the person 2, 3 weeks before you go out, or 2 weeks, or whatever your comfort level is. To me, it makes a difference. Now, let me tell you why I'm saying this stuff. And it's because I listen to this little young guy. I'm not trying to give his YouTube information or anything like that. Because I probably will never listen to him again. I listened to one and a half of his videos because, I couldn't make it through all of that. Um, But this little guy is so young, and I'm sitting up here like this guy's in his early 20s. And I'm sitting up here like I'm looking at the comments, and one guy was 63 years old that was listening to this little young guy, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, that's a problem. That's like a huge problem. But let me tell you why that's happening. Men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and all of this kind of stuff are listening to these new young men and women. They're listening because those are the women that they are still out there chasing, still out there trying to get. That's why. And I'm not saying it's all of them because it's not all of them. There are a certain amount of men, 30s, 40s, 50s, are still out here chasing these little young 20, 23, 24, 25-year-old women. And a lot of this whole uh red pill content, KS content is aimed at women who are very, very young. Very young women. I At my age, it's like I almost dare to even call them women because like they're babies. I mean, they don't know anything. And I say that with all due respect because when I was that age, I didn't know a damn thing about nothing. I couldn't give nobody no advice on dating and babies, and I mean, I didn't know anything. And not only that, your views change so much. This little girl because one of these videos of this guy was talking to a young woman. This woman was probably 22, 23 years old. And I don't want to demean her or women who are that young by saying little girl or whatever. So if I say it, I don't mean anything by it. I just know the mindset. I've listened to and heard very young women like that talk, and they sound just like my daughter. They sound just like I have a 16, finna be 17-year-old daughter in July, and they sound the same mindset, same ideology, same wishful thinking. I mean, so I don't mean anything offensive or degrading, trying to downplay, them at all. I just understand. And it's, it's, I get it. So, but anyway, I think a lot of it, as I said, is a lot of the problem is the way people are meeting. People are just meeting up, wanting to meet online and then, oh, let's go get coffee, whatever, which I've said before to me that's an insult to me. You don't ask me to go get no damn coffee. I don't want, first of all, I have my coffee early in the morning. I don't drink it anymore during the day. I get maybe that's just an icebreaker or whatever, but yeah, I'm not going. I don't do that, you know. And this whole okay, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to the whole free meal thing because I think some of my videos, I have to admit, some of my videos I privatized only because I wanted to go back and like listen to them again, before I put them back out. But I got I got quite a few of them that I did that. So, but I think I made a video talking about this whole concept of women trying to get free food. Like, but I'm gonna get to that. Anyway, I wrote a few notes. Don't want to make the video extremely long, and like I say, I want to go get my nails done and come on back home. So, you know, so here's a point that I took away from listening to all that rhetoric, listening to the guy that I went on the date with, and listening to this guy that I found, this very young guy that I found, and him talking, and he was an absolute red pill follower. He was hyping up the red pill, so he was talking about it. And I think it's so sad. I think it's so sad that these very young men like him are, in my opinion, already ruined. It's heartbreaking to me. It really is very heartbreaking to me. But um, the point that I wanted to bring out is this guy. Okay, I listened to two videos one and a half because, like I said, I couldn't make it through the other one. But the one video, he was, had a clip of a very young woman on there, and she was basically one of these women who talking about men providing for her, doing things for her, setting her up. I think she may have been a sex worker. I think I heard her say something about the strip club or something like that. Um, and she she was talking about if a guy set her up and things like that, and how, like if they broke up or whatever, he would have a hard time getting her out of there because, you set me up in this life and you're not just gonna take it away, which is really crazy. And like I say, that's some young stuff. That's some very young mindset, because first of all, that is the mindset that with the guys that are out here today, and the mindset that they have and the things that are going on, that's the kind of stuff that'll make them kill you. Just straight up. I mean, they're already argumentative and violent and angry already. And you mean to tell me you finna play with their mind, play with their money, and play with them and not leave and get out of their house and whatever it is that and you you just gonna stay and it's gonna be a fight? Man, come on. Come on, you don't be nowhere nobody don't want you. I mean, seriously, if they don't want you there, you leave. Like, that's easy and simple, you know. Um. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into all of that because I could go somewhere else with that, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just going to say, I'm just going to say, um, these statistics about this 20% and 80% and 90% and 10% and all these averages and all, I mean, for me, it's always been silly. Before even all of this, I never liked statistics. I never liked them because they're not accurate, and they are only a poll of the poll who took the poll. They're not, I mean, you're not actually really seriously getting all of the women or all of the men or whatever who have these opinions or whatever. You're not getting it. You're getting the statistics of the people who were polled. That's where it comes from. And so, whether it's talking about dating, whether it's talking about whatever, I have never liked statistics. And, it sounds foolish. It just sounds foolish to me. But this here is what um here is the issue that I had. This particular men who think like this have the idea that they're not going to support a woman, they're not going to give to a woman, they're not going to, I ain't going to give her nothing, whatever, equal rights, let her get on, whatever, all of this stuff that you hear. But then you hear about how most of these men, oh, I want a traditional woman. The women don't want to get married. Women don't want to have children. Women don't want you to, they don't want to be traditional women. They don't want to cook. They don't want, okay. And you got those two sides. Now, here's my problem with that. So you say that you're mad at women who say they don't need a man, but then you're also mad at women who would want you to give to them and buy them stuff and stuff like that. So it's just like you're not going to get the traditional housewife Edith Bunker, Leave It to Beaver mom. That she dead and she gone, and it's like you not gonna get that. And at the end of the day, guys really don't want that woman anyway. They want the benefits of being able to go to mama house or big mama house and get some cake and get some food and get some what I mean, but they don't really want no woman like that because she ain't fine, she ain't sexy, she ain't, she ain't out here looking like Beyonce or whatever, which is what they want. But when Beyonce act like Beyonce, which is a high value, high powered, can get whatever she want, expects the best type female, then all of a sudden, oh, she won't too much. And it's just like this is why women are talking about these men being delusional because it's just like you need to make up your mind what you want. You can't get a woman somewhere in her early 20s, especially. First of all, what a woman in her early 20s, that woman ain't trying to get married right now. Like that's and this is some of the conversation that I had with this guy. Like she ain't trying to get married. She don't want to get married with all the education, with all of the opportunities for women out here right now today. Ain't no woman trying to get home and get strapped to no stove and get pregnant. Like that's not, you know. And when men had those opportunities to get that and to have that in droves, they were still out here screwing prostitutes and screwing other women and all of this kind of stuff. So it's just like that ain't really what you want. What you really want is to have your cake and eat it too. That's what you really want without any repercussions. That's what you really want, you know? Um, so I find the anger at both types of women astounding because at the end of the day, do you want a woman or not? Because you're not going to, every woman is going to want and need something from you. And it seems to me that men want to be able to be with women and not give anything. And it's crazy because I've seen men, even in homosexual relationships, who give to each other, who the one who is more feminine is expecting things like a woman and they are getting it. And it's just like, it's crazy. The thought process is absolutely crazy. So, um, yeah. Um, so these men, I'm gonna try to stay on topic. Some, this particular man, the one that I was, the one on the video, that particular man was talking about giving all the statistics of even regular women, just regular, average, everyday women who have a mindset of only wanting the 10 or 20% guys that are six figure, that are abs and all, because that the guy that I went on the date with was saying the same stuff. And He said it's because of social media and women feeling like they deserve so much. Every woman should feel like she deserves so much. I mean, that's something right there that I am never, ever, ever going to tell a woman that she should not feel like she deserves the best. Let me tell you what happens with a woman or to a woman who is in a situation where she has low self-esteem, doesn't feel like she just proud and happy to have a man, and she's just, she don't think she's all that. Let me tell you what happens. She gets abused. She gets verbally abused, she gets mentally abused. And the bad thing about it is that there are so many men who are out here with an abusive type personality and treat the way they treat women anyway, until if they get a woman like that who just happy to have a man who doesn't think she the shit, who doesn't feel like she's pretty, or she would, like how KS and his followers want women to think of themselves. Oh, you're just average. Oh, well, you're not, you couldn't have. Any woman can have any man she wants, first of all, because KS and people who think like him are not God and are not the gods of the world who dictate society and who dictate what everybody wants. Period. Any woman could have whoever she wants. How she I mean men could have whoever they want. And that's the problem, is that you got these men out here who are creating toxic men and toxic mindsets who actually are making men feel like they really can't have you know the best or whatever. Here's the reason why these men can't have what they are looking for right now. The reason is because there was a time when men who were doing manly things like getting up, going to work, providing for their families, taking care of their children, being a dad, being a husband, hanging out on the weekend with the boys, barbecuing, dominoes, I mean, just being a family man with his wife, with his family, you know, love his family member. I mean, being a man, okay? There was a time when those men were working, and the status and the pride that they had came from their hard work, their integrity, and the money that they made, and the provision for their families. So it wasn't about you being able to have any woman you want and jet set all over the world and just screw women, and have just money in your pocket, and you got a six-pack ab, and I mean that's like, if any of you are in my age range or whatever, that's like some Harlequin romance fantasy type stuff. Like that's not real world. That's not real world. Just like how they keep talking about these women who, under 25, flat stomach, no stretch marks, no kids, um, I don't know what else they want. Basically, a little girl, a virgin. She ain't had no men or whatever. Basically, what these guys are really talking about, and I know some of you already know, are little girls. That's what they're talking about. They're very, very pedophilia. Um, this red pill rhetoric is extremely pedophilic, extremely. And so, with all that being said, the woman like that is not a broad reality in that it's the norm, and neither is a guy like that. Like the guy that you're describing is what they would used to call a playboy. You know what I'm saying? And you all, these guys talk about women, but it's like every man is out here wanting to be a playboy. Like he just want to just floss his money, flash his car, and screw every pretty woman that he can and just have women and no kids and no responsibility. That's a playboy. Like that's not even a real that's not real. Like that's a very few number of people that can have that. And maybe that's why they're calling them the 10 and 20%. But the rhetoric that you guys are talking about, that most women, even the 80-90% of women wants, that is not true. It's not true. And like I say, I know I'm coming from another generation. I know I'm coming from a different, even maybe type of lifestyle. But at the end of the day, I think for the most part, I know more so the mind of women than a man does, because I am one. And I can tell you, a woman, most women out here are not looking to be taken care of. They're not looking to be set up in, some big something point $1 million mansion, and have him buy all her clothes, and have him giving her $10,000 a week shopping money and all. I mean, this is what this girl was saying. The girl on video, that's what she was saying, and this is the girl that they were rating. Talking about the average woman. It's like, that girl ain't average at all. Average where? Like, seriously. Maybe I mean, yeah, that's not average. That's not average, because at the end of the day, most of the women out here are buying their own cars. They are having and opening up their own businesses. They are, and then he started talking about, the other average women have a whole bunch of debt from college and all that. First of all, they excused all the debt, and that's really not no thing no more. And the common sense is, if there is a woman out there who got a whole bunch of student loan debt and stuff like that, and trying to get you to pay it or pay it off, I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's simple. Like, if you ain't got it like that, you don't do it. Like it. But once again, this comes from getting to know people. If you sat down with her and get to know her for more than 2 or 3 days and try to get some ass, and if you really seriously try to get to know her for a few weeks, months, couple of months, or whatever, you would see. Because trust me, it's gonna come out. That kind of woman is not going to play around about no money. She not going to be playing around with you about, even trying to act like she likes you or wants no relationship with you. She's about her money, and she going to bring it up, and she going to bring it out rather quickly, that this is what I want. Probably a lot of them, from what I'm understanding, in the first conversation. So, and if that ain't you, that's not your league. I mean, move on. Move on. But it has to do, like I keep saying, with getting to know people. Where people are getting into these type of retarded situations and losing money and losing time because they're not getting to know people. It's really just as simple as that to me. I'm welcoming conversation. I'm welcoming respectable and respectful comments, that let it down at the put it down at the bottom, and let me see, and let me know, and let me hear from you, what you think the situation is. But getting back to women of today, let's get on the children, because the dude said something that was very telling. Now, this guy, he kind of put out like a black persona. He sounded black. He was very, 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 if he was black, he was very, very, very light skinned. So it was actually hard for me to tell, and I didn't go through his stuff and look through his videos, and I'm not really all that concerned. But he could have passed for non-black. Um, he could be mixed or biracial. But he said something about single mothers, as they all do, that the single moms make criminals and thugs and unbalanced kids and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, a single mom or a dad is gonna make a child that's not gonna be fully and completely balanced because of the fact you need that's what the balance of mom and dad is about. That's what it's for. You know what I'm saying? To give that balance. But you could also have a balance with a toxic ass mom. You could also have a dis a toxic balance with a toxic dad, a dad who is not there or who is drinking or on drugs. Well, it's not just about being a single mom or the only ones that's out here bringing out toxic kids or whatever. Um, and making kids that are criminals. Because here's the thing: at the rate that uh these black men are dating non-black women and doing the same exact thing they have always done to black women are not the face of single motherhood anymore. But yet you said they are making thugs and criminals. Now, if we go ahead and read between the lines, we know that he's talking about about black women, because nobody just generally looks at white and other non-black women as single mothers. That's first of all. And when they do, they don't say things like, oh, they create thugs and criminals. That's pretty much a black thing. That's a black thing. Now, if we talking about non-black women or white women or whatever making thugs and criminals, are we talking about school shooters? Are we talking about them going and blowing up and shooting up post offices or things like? I mean, so what do I mean when we say criminal? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it's very hypocritical, and you still have to be able to read between the lines. Now, the reason I even brought up how he looks, being like he looked non-black, but he could be black. The reason I bring that up is because what I said in my last video, I'm seeing that there's a lot of like non-black men who are looking at this stuff as well. And I think it's very dangerous and very toxic also to black women, because right now black women are divesting in droves. Now, me myself, I don't call myself no divester because I have been dating non-black men for years now. So, and black men, you know but anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, so I don't call myself that, but right now there's like this whole movement. And when you have non-black men out there who are also listening to to KS, and also um listening to this real red pill stuff and MGTOW stuff. I don't talk a whole lot about MGTOW, but MGTOW is, I've known about MGTOW for a little bit. It's sickening as well, and it is very hateful, very abusive, and in my opinion, primping and preparing men to be gay, to live in a very hating women type society, that men going their own way. Where y'all going with our women? It's like, where are you going with our women? uh, which is another thing I'm not going to get into. But um let me stay on topic because I could go somewhere else with that too. um yeah, so there's not a whole lot, in my opinion, of just average um women out here who are trying to just get men to just like pay their bills, give them whatever, and buy them things. Now, let me tell you something. Here's the funny thing about it. You have always had women. You have had prostitution, and I'm not calling because a woman wants money prostitution. I'm not saying that at all, because I myself am honestly quite quite modern in that myself, in that viewpoint, because I don't think I don't think sex should be free. Sex is not free. And if a man can get sex from you and leave and never see you again, he's going to do it. And he's going to get out as quick and as fast as he can without losing anything and giving you anything. So, yeah, sex ain't free. It's not free. And I usually say the whole word. I'm just not going to say it on here right now. But honestly, it ain't free. And if that makes a woman a hoe, oh well, it's business. And that's seriously how I feel about it. It's a business transact. If you're going to cheapen a woman, and if you're going to bring it down to I want the most precious thing, the life giving precious part of your body, like that is the essence of a woman. And you're going to cheapen that with you just getting one off and feel like, oh, well, if you ask me for anything, oh, well, you must be a hoe. Guess I'm a hoe then, because it ain't free. It's not free. Like that, it ain't free. Like that's retarded, you know? So it just amazes me how these men have this ideology that, you know, women don't deserve anything, you don't give them nothing, whatever, yet you want the best part of a woman. And also how it angers these men that a woman or they feel like women are just out here asking men for stuff and trying to get stuff from men. That makes you mad. But then also, if a woman is not asking you for anything and she's doing it on her own, she got her own car, her own money, her own whatever, then that makes you mad too because she don't need you. And it's like it's some real bipolar, crazy ass stuff that's going on out here, and it's just like it doesn't make any sense. Like it's too much rhetoric out here. It's like it's making people crazy. It really, really is. And I think with men, you got a lot of sexual frustration out here that's going along too. And, I actually said I was going to do a video about that, about, telling women to protect their children, because if women are not out here having sex with men, because so many of them are divesting and just, some women have just got out of the dating game, or they use it to their, when it's convenient for them. Um, you got a lot of sexually frustrated men, and those sexually frustrated men are going to get it from somewhere. And as we know, just being honest, as we know, most men don't really care where they stick it at. And I'm talking about white, black, Hispanic, all of them. They don't care where they stick it. They just trying to get one off, and you know that. So yeah, watch your children. Watch your children. Watch your little boys. Watch your little girls, because we can divest all we want. Women can divest all they want and go wherever they want. But you still got men out here who are preying and predators and looking for something. So look for rapes to increase, sadly. And I don't, maybe, I think, forgive me, I don't know. I heard somebody say you can't say that word on YouTube. Forgive me, I'm sorry. Don't take down my video. But these sexual assaults and things like that are probably going to continue to increase and everything until women start doing whatever they need to do to really protect themselves, their homes, and their children. It just kind of is what it is. But let me move on. I've been on that point for a minute. Um, so I wrote so much here. The other thing I wanted to get on, these men who, and this is what I'm talking about where I made the video. I keep wondering, and I'm seeing it more and more, but these men are talking about taking women out on dates, are not taking women out on dates because they're looking for free food. Now, I used to not even really address that so much because it was so silly and so ignorant to me. And the fact that it was kind of at one point it seemed like it was kind of a black thing in a way, but then I guess white men started talking about it, and you know other non-black men started talking about it. And it's just so crazy to me because here's the thing that I wonder, like, what kind of women are you meeting that's so hungry that she got to go out on a date to get free food like that? And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, that to me is one of the most ridiculous things because, like I say, most women are out here working. And especially if she a woman with children, she probably get food stamps. So she got food. Like, I mean, unless she's like homeless or just ratchet ghetto and just looking for a free, like, I don't even get it because, like, I don't, I'm serious. I'm trying to find out because I'm not saying that there aren't women out there like that. I'm not saying that, because like I said, I'm not gonna sit up here and just downplay everything that men are saying. But my thing is, why not get and choose if it's important to you and it's not just about getting a piece of ass, which usually it is, which is why you find women who will just use you for some food or try to get money from you or whatever. It's the fact that you don't want nothing serious. You're not trying to do anything, so she ain't either. She finna get what she can get from you. It's called karma at the end of the day. But back to my point, I'm trying to figure out, like, where are you meeting women, these women who just want to go out and eat some free food and whatever. I mean, because I'm like, I'm not understanding that. Like, I guess these men are trying to say that they want a real true quality relationship with a woman or whatever, and I'm just meeting women who just want to go out and just eat some free food, and then they don't want to talk to you no more. That, first of all, also is just a risk of dating. Like, that's just a risk of dating. And, like, quite honestly, if you had money, or if you had enough money that you're not worried about paying for even $100 meal, even if you had, I mean, going out with two people and spending $100 really ain't nothing. Like, it's really like you can really easily spend more than that. Like, I will take my daughter out, which we haven't gone out in a while, but like my daughter, and like I say, she's young. She's from that generation, but these girls thinking like this. And my daughter will honestly, seriously try to buy the whole damn menu. And I have to tell her, like, no, you're not getting that. You can get this and this, or we can get a two for, or we can get whatever. And it's not even because I don't have the money. It's because I'm not just going to sit up here and just let you just get whatever off the menu. Like, you don't understand the value of money, and that's from a mom's point of view. So my thing is, like, you're going out on a date. Money is going to be involved. You're gonna have to pay gas and all of these type of things to get yourself ready and whatever for her. So money is involved. So if you don't have enough money to go out on the date, just don't go. That way you don't have to worry about being used, or she bought a $80 lobster or what. I mean, and also at the end of the day, like I say, if you sit down and get to know people, you would know what kind of woman you're going out with, whether or not she is going to expect something like that, or if she just want to go out somewhere and just hang. Like, she may would just want to go to the park, or she may want to go get a two for at Applebee's, or she may want to. I mean, if you are meeting women who just want to go out and just go get $150 meal just because somebody taking them out, that's childish. It's childish. It's silly. It's fool. I mean, when you start getting into, I mean, seriously, And I've been on a diet, honestly, for quite a while. Probably going on 2 years. I've been on a whole new eating regimen. And I've done that because I've been on this weight loss journey and I've lost quite a bit of weight. And so, but I still like to eat. I still like food that has a taste. And so the higher you get into these restaurants and the the food gets smaller. It's just pretty. The plate is beautifully designed and you're not hardly eating enough. So, and I've heard women on social media, oh, Applebee's. Oh, oh, you just want to go to Chili's. Oh, you just want to go to a sports bar. Yeah, I like going to sports bars. Like seriously, I have honestly told guys, let's go to a sports bar because I like the wings or I like the food. I like the drinks. I mean, but that's just me. Like I'm not trying to go to no, you know, Park deal or whatever restaurant or whatever. I'm not trying to do all of that because I don't even know if I don't want you spending that kind of money on me because I don't know you and don't know that I like you like that. Like you, because see, here's the thing, and it's really just common sense. If you as a man are spending that kind of money, oh, you expecting something. You expecting something. I mean, most men don't just have money like that just to throw away. And so, yeah, they get mad because if they can't get none or whatever. And it's just like, you know, I'm finna speak personally. Uh, my video is going on a little bit. But I have honestly, even since I've ever even been a teenager, I really didn't even start dating until I was like 17. So I was a little bit older. Well, I mean, and that ain't don't mean I didn't like boys and stuff. It's just like, I mean, I would go like to the mall and stuff like that, but I didn't consider that dating. Like, I think they call that dating now. Like, that wasn't dating. But anyway, um, I always knew that if a guy buys you something or pays for you, he gonna expect something. I mean, nobody even taught me that. Like, I never remember my mom telling me that. It was just something I just always knew. And so every date I've ever gone on, I've had money. Every date. I've had cash in my pocket or my purse or credit cards as I got older or, debit card, just whatever. I've always had money. I've never gone on a date and not have no money. Matter of fact, I have turned down a date. I turned down a date because I'm telling dude, like, yeah, I ain't got no money this week. Like, for real. Like, I really, like, we can go next week. I get paid. And this dude was so insistent. Like, I'm not asking you to pay for anything. I'm asking you to let's go out on a date, whatever. And so he was so insistent about it. And he actually really did make me feel comfortable until I did it once. I did it once. But as a rule, and just as a norm, yeah, I don't do that. I've never done that because I already know. I mean, and what's so crazy about it is like now, like if a guy take you to McDonald's, he gonna want something. So it's just absolutely crazy. They want something anyway. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it behooves me that if a woman expects anything from a man, all of a sudden today she's a hoe. And uh, that is just crazy to me. I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah. Um hold on, let's see. I was trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out like you have to know, just like I was talking about the statistics, you have to know that every woman out there ain't like that. And I'm not even talking about just myself because I know I'm from a different generation. But even in my generation, you got hoes, you got women who, I mean, it's a lot of women my age who expect money, expect bills paid, expect such and such, such. I mean, they expect that. and more so, honestly, more so a lot of them because they are old fashioned like that. And they just feel like a man is supposed to do that kind of stuff. I'm just different because my mindset is I don't want to be feeling like I owe anybody. So that's kind of my thing. And I never saw my mom, like living that type of lifestyle to like where she got stuff from men and she wanted, she's always got a hand out and stuff like that. So I wasn't raised like that. I didn't learn that. It just, and I'm not even downing anybody who is like that because like I'm saying, sex ain't free. I mean, it's not free at all. So these men who feel like they can just get in and get out and jump a woman's body and just be gone and she never see him again, it's retarded. It's crazy. So, but I just I just have to wonder. Those are the women that because I was talking about statistics, right? So, and as I said, these are statistics of the people that were polled. That's the statistic. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is what about the women outside of that? Because, like I say, it's not just me and my generation or whatever. My son's girlfriend, even though I prayed for her and wanted her, and he said he prayed for a woman like that, you know, very soft spoken, very sweet, very, I mean, she's very traditional, very, I mean, I don't think they go to church. She's more spiritual, but like that's how you would see her, just a good old church girl, and that's rare. That is so rare. Um, and it just makes me wonder, like what about those kind of women? And I'm not even just talking about just church girls. I'm talking about the women who are out here not asking you for nothing, who are paying their own way, the women who may have children but don't need you to do nothing for them, which is another point that I got to get on. I keep hearing men talk about single moms and women with children and once again, if you get to know somebody, you could eliminate the foolishness. Because if there is a woman that you are messing with and she's pushing her children on you and you don't even know her, you just met her, she's looking for a baby daddy, she's looking for, you need to stay away from her anyway. That's dangerous on so many levels. Like so many levels that's dangerous. And it's just like, once again, I have to keep asking myself, where are these guys meeting women like this? Like, who? I don't know a lot of women, honestly, who the kind of women that I know that would just push their children on some strange man. Like, who are you? Like, I don't know you. I don't know your morals. I don't know who you like. You would not even meet my children. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many women out here who are so overly protective of their children. Like you're not finna meet them. You're not finna like, and they certainly are not finna be pushed on you. I don't want you buying my children. I'm like, I mean, like seriously, like where are you meeting these women who behave like this? Like that's crazy to me. Like I mean, that's oh my God, that's so dangerous. That is so like and they make jokes, I ain't trying to be no stepdad. I ain't trying to be that. I wouldn't, I mean, I don't know you. I don't know, like I just said, anything about your background. I don't know. You are probably an undercover pedophile, especially listening to this red pill bullshit and all this stuff about these little young, tight, tender 2023, these little young girls with these little tight, tender bodies and all this. And if you over 25, you can hit the wall, which is retarded. But real pedophilic homosexual vibes that's coming out of all of that. all of that stuff. And that puts my daughter and my son at risk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to you women. It's something wrong in some kind of way if a woman is trying to push her children just on every man. Like, come on, for real? Like these dudes out here don't have no morals, no nothing. What do I look like trying to get my little girl to call you daddy and being friendly to you and it, man, please. Like, are you serious? That just reeks of pedophilia to me. Like, and you don't know me very well and don't know my daughter. You don't have no type of anything that would constrain you from screwing my child. Because like I'm saying, so many, I mean, pedophilia in the black community is rampant. And that is another thing that we need to talk about, and we don't talk about it, and it gets pushed under the rug. And you know that Uncle Johnny and you know uh, other older men and young boys, teenage boys in the family and stuff, touch some of the other kids, and you know, these old men who have the kids dancing for them and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, bullshit. No, mm-mm. And I'm praying that stuff like that is not still happening, but I know it is. I'm not around that kind of stuff, but I'm black. I'm from the black community. I grew up in the hood. I mean, I know I can be, or y'all can think I'm as sheltered as y'all want to. I know, and it's just it's sad, it's crazy, and it's horrible because of the fact that especially little black girls don't get listened to after they get raped or molested. They don't get listened to by anybody. And especially if it's the mama's boyfriend or something, because she gonna tell you, to go it on, or you being fast and you doing something in front of him anyway. I mean, just it's all kinds of stuff. It's all kinds of stuff. And they out here raping and molesting little boys too. And the little boys are, for the most part, ashamed or scared and don't know how to handle it, don't know how to process it. We don't listen to them either. Talking about somebody did something to me, or he touched me, or he tried to show me his some whatever. Boy, go on, get up out here. Go there, go sit down and watch TV or blah blah. You know what I mean? And it doesn't get dealt with. And that's the history of so much child molestation in the black community. That's the history of it. And it's always been, you know. I'm gonna get on this right here, and it's not really off topic, but well, you know what? Let me stay on topic because I was about to share with y'all. Well, let me share it. Because I'm already at over an hour, and if you're still here, bless you and thank you. But um there is I read an article. I don't even know how I came upon it. It was on YouTube first, and then I followed it up on Google and read more of the woman's story. And she has a website and organization, and at the moment I cannot think of her name. But apparently, long story short, she was about 13, 14 years old. She didn't really give like any details about her past, or it she really didn't give any other surrounding information beside what happened, which I wish that I could find. I wish she had a book. Like, I keep trying to Google and find out if this woman has a book or anything, because I would definitely buy it. But at the end of the day, she told the story of basically her mom selling her. And some of you may have heard her story too. 13, 14 years old. She say, um, when she came home, she said she was outside playing with her friends, which is so innocent. But she said she came home and her mom had her bags and stuff set at the door. She said about a year before, or some months before, a man, this particular man had just like been hanging around like her apartments and stuff. And she said that she had seen him and everything. I think she said she went to like a party or something somewhere, and this man raped her. And I think she said she didn't say anything, she didn't tell nobody or anything like that. And so she said after that, I don't remember how long after that, but she said a little bit after that, her mom had, like I said, her stuff at the door, and basically she said, her mom said, "Bitch, you gotta go," or you gotta, you can't live here no more. And so she said she went out. There was a man out there waiting in a car for her. Strange man, not too strange because he was the one that had raped her. And um, she said she got in the car with him, saying, no, she begged her mom, like, I'll do anything. I'll listen. I will, just whatever. But even with that, like I said, she didn't give any history that she was fast or she didn't listen to her mom or anything. She didn't give any history like that. So she said she got in the car with this dude. She said the dude, first off of getting in the car, said he slapped the crap out of her and basically told her it's more that where you just got that from is more that coming. And basically, if you don't listen, if you don't do everything I say, if you don't obey me, that's what it's going to be. And she said she was just terrified. She said, okay. And she said, in the, I don't remember how many years, but at long story short, she wound up having 3 or 4 children. I'm thinking three. She says she got multiple beatings, multiple, I mean, just complete abuse, whatever. She say he taught her. Now, all of this wasn't on the video. The basic story was on the video. This other more detailed stuff I have researched and had to find it on my own for more from her story because it was just fascinating, you know. And I'm saying this, and I'm not going off just on a tangent. I'm saying this because I was talking about the pedophilia and, the selling children in the black community, R. Kelly bullshit, you know. And now, here today we have our people, upholding it, saying it's okay. And what about the mom and blah blah blah. We act like it's okay. And these are some deep, dirty, nasty secrets of the black community. And so I'm just giving an example. But long story short, this girl, she said they finally moved like to another state or whatever. I forgot. I think she may be like 18 years old by this time. Got like I say, like 3 kids, 3 or 4 kids. Say she moved across the street or next door to a woman, a black woman. She was a Christian lady, and she said that woman, you know, started like talking to her and asking her was she okay and how you doing and blah blah blah. And she said that at first she would just ignore the lady, and it was like a lot of distrust because the woman, the man had told her, don't you look at nobody, don't you talk to nobody, basically you ain't don't make no friends, no, just none of that, and getting treated and beat up the way she had been all her life. I mean, she was scared, of course, it's a grown man beating you up. So, it's just, we there's so much domestic violence and abuse in the black community. And these, like I say, are the toxic teachings and things of men and KS who says bullshit like he ain't never in all of his 50 however many years old his ass is, talking about he ain't never seen no domestic violence or black women getting beat in the black community, when all of this death and murder in the black community. The first murder as a little girl, and I'm not getting off course. I'm still with y'all. I got like maybe I got about one more point that I want to make, and then I'm gonna get off here. But it just behooves me, the that he could even say something like that. And then the first murder that I remember as a very little girl, the first one that I remember was a family. The little girl was my best friend. Her name was Renee. And um, her mama, I don't even know if I should tell all these people's name because, the internet is wide and vast and I don't want to, but anyway, it was that would have been her aunt. It was her mama's sister who was a thin, beautiful. I remember that woman. I remember her name from all these years. I remember that woman's name. And I remember all the kids' names because they used to come into our apartments and like every weekend. So we'd only see them on the weekend. But they would come over there on the weekends and play with like my cousin, my friend, and like they would just be over there. So I knew them too. And one day, man, I remember that girl mom was just inconsolable. She was completely inconsolable. She had a tall, thin boyfriend, and they were outside. I don't know if she got the news outside or what, because like I'm saying, I was little, but I remember this. And when word came down, it was that a guy had shot those kids' mama and killed her. I shot and killed her. So that was my first introduction to black women being killed by black men. And it's like, it ain't nothing new, but it's very real. And like, if you don't think killing women, black women, and killing your domestic partner, however you want to say it, your wife, your baby mama, if you don't think that that's domestic violence, because don't nobody just come home one day and just kill their baby mama. It was some arguing, it was some fighting, it was some toxic bullshit going on before. All of that is domestic violence. And it's also a problem when you have these men who don't know how to categorize domestic violence. Domestic violence is not just physical. You got mental abuse, you got emotional abuse, you got taking women and keeping them isolated away from their family, away from other people, and all this stuff, or moving them up somewhere and then being a complete dick to them. And all that's abuse. It's all abuse. If y'all don't know, it's abuse. So my last point, 2 minutes over, the part I said I was gonna stop at, but this man talked about um women wanting to be men and women having penis envy, which is something I ain't never heard of. It's crazy. Now, I'm gonna be honest. The only women, and I think I'm speaking for black women, whether they be single moms or just whatever circumstance that has them alone with children or alone by themselves or just whatever, and men feel like they're masculine, which I don't really feel that way. I feel like these men are getting more and more feminine, and so therefore the women look more masculine. That's what I think. I think their reality is distorted. I really do. Because quite honestly, just because a woman is put in a situation where she has to play both roles does not mean she like it, she loves it, that's what she want to do, and she want to be a man. That's some bullshit to keep you from not feeling like you need to take care of your responsibilities. That's all that is. That's all it is. I mean, ain't no woman out here because she's a single man. Oh, well, I want to turn into a man. That's some bullshit. Unless she is a lesbian, and if she a lesbian, she a lesbian. That ain't got nothing to do with. That's a whole other thing. But the average woman is not out here wanting to be no man. You know. Um, it's just me myself personally, and like I said, I know it ain't about me, all of it ain't about me, but I'm still in it because I'm a black woman, so I get thrown in it and put in it. you know there's nothing I love more than my femininity. I love being a woman. I love my vagina. I love my breasts. They are absolutely beautiful. I love my voice. I love my femininity. I love my bouginess. I love being a girly girl. I love the fact that I hate bugs and really don't care too much about camping and stuff like that. But I mean, I love femininity. I love the delicateness of it. I love the strength of it, which is another thing that I think a lot of men don't understand. There is a strength that comes with femininity. And maybe that's what they're confusing with wanting to be a man, but that's not wanting to be a man. That's just her strength. That's just her ability to endure. That's just her resilience. That's just her, being able to multitask. That's just the power of being a woman. I think that's what it is. Like they don't understand the power of being a woman. I mean, that's to me, that's what it is. And I think you just got a lot of toxic men out here giving other men a bunch of toxic advice, and they're toxic because they are hurt, they are bitter, and they're mad and they're angry. And I think a lot of them are very sexually frustrated. I think a lot of them are very sexually perverted as well. Um, and it just causes a lot of they so many are on very very low frequency and vibrations until it's toxic. It's just toxic, you know. So I don't even know what I'm gonna call this video. I wanted to tell you all these things, the last thing, this guy, and the one that I also went on the date with, and the one whose channel that I watched. This guy talked a lot about how women are ghosting men, and talked about social media, online dating, all this kind of stuff, and like how women are just swiping, and women are getting on social media or dating apps or whatever for their egos and just to swipe on men and make men feel like crap. That's more toxic bullshit to me, because I will admit I've been on dating apps and I was actually really honestly truly looking for I wasn't necessarily looking for marriage or anything like that, but I was actually really seriously looking for someone who wanted to date and go out on dates and do things, and um the whole full thing that comes with that is what I was looking for. And because that's just me, and that's what I was looking for. And all all there seems to be out there is men who just want some sex, and they just trying to hit it and quit it or whatever. And it's just crazy to me, because the hypocrisy is the fact that men are out here. It's like women don't know that just men want sex. Like we know that, we get that, we understand it. It's not a surprise. And so men, oh, I'm just working on myself and I'm just gonna go and do that. Men want sex too bad in order to do the bullshit that they are out here trying to teach men to do. Just being honest. So he talking about, men out here simping for women and all. They're gonna keep simping, if that's what y'all call it. I don't call it simping, but they're gonna keep doing that, because at the end of the day, they want women and they want sex, and women hold that power. So it just kind of is what it is, But at the same time, you're saying that women don't want you, and they're just doing it for their ego and all that. That's not true. I know that there are a lot of really true, genuine, everyday women, and I'm not going to say average, I'm going to say everyday women who are not dancing on a pole and got a 16-year-old's body and is a virgin and don't have no children like they want. They're actually true, real grown women who have their own money, who are not out here trying to get men to buy them stuff, and who are not just out here looking for money and trying to push their kids and get free meals. Like there are seriously a group of women who actually want what they say they want, just to date and just to meet a nice guy and to, you know, get something established where it can actually maybe grow to or get to an actual full-fledged relationship, partnership, whatever you want to call it, situationship, whatever. I mean, whatever is discussed between the two people is what it is. And once again, it's why I keep saying people need to get to know one another. I mean, at the end of the day, I've met people, but it really truly seems to me that not, I think men are very, very afraid. And I think most men are really, truly out here trying to get their kink off and get in and out as easy as possible without losing anything, giving up any money, any whatever. And I think that's very it's sad, it's disheartening, and it's I get it, I understand it in some ways, only because it a lot of that is out there. But let me tell you what I told that guy, and what I would even tell this guy whose channel I watched. They keep talking about women going outside of their league and getting men who they don't qualify for, which is retarded as hell, but anyway. um but yet they are 30, 40, 50s, 60s, wanting a tight body 20 something year old with no kids, and she wants you, she wants to be with you, and she just want to love you and just you be her man. That's some that's a fantasy. That's a fantasy. I don't even know how else to break it down. That's a fantasy. These men need to go and get an everyday woman who don't mind being a partner. And I don't mean that to say no 50-50. I don't mean that to say that, you know, um, she's out here providing for him, doing anything for when I say partnership, I'm talking about the two of them. I'm talking about not necessarily marriage. That's what I'm talking about when I say partnership. And whatever it is that comes with that, and whatever it is that the two people agree on to be in the relationship, whatever that means. I don't have no standards on it because all of it is different to different people. People are looking for different things and everything else. So I don't put no standard and no stamp on what a relationship should be. I know what I want, but I don't really see men out here like actually really truly looking to be in a relationship, get married, do that, whatever. I think some of them do, but I think there's certain women that they want to do it with. And I also think that, it's just so much fear and mistrust of women and misinformation and generalizing women and stuff like that until it's really seriously got most men terrified as hell. Seriously. And so we have what we have. And so, the guy who was telling who I was talking to, or who I went on the date with, because we weren't talking at all. Like not like that. I mean, we did talk on the phone, and everything happened like I said, but it wasn't going to be anything to that. And I explained that in the video when I talked to you all. Um, but this guy talked about how um, women didn't want an average guy. Women didn't want him, and they want this and this big high power whatever. And like I said in my first video, if dude would carry himself in a way that he was like he actually more so cared about himself, and in his case lost weight. And I say that once again, I say that because he was really a big guy. He was still handsome, still nice, but he was a much bigger guy than I even expected. And I think, you know, I mean, because we did talk, um, we did meet somewhat, but he wasn't honest, and he wasn't um forthcoming with everything that he should have been forthcoming with. And so then when we actually went on the date, like what what my expectation was, I can't really say that because like I didn't really have no expectation because I wasn't planning on like being with him. Even I wasn't planning on being with him like that. But at the end of the day, let me sum this up. At the end of the day, this guy was just really not forthcoming with who he was and all, even with the down to the Kevin, this KS stuff, you know. He didn't present himself like that. It's once we started talking and everything that I started beginning to hear things that was just like, yeah, because honestly, that was another deal breaker. And I broke my own deal. Well, no, not really, because that started coming out in the date. But yeah, I had said to myself, like, yeah, any guy that even bring this dude's name up, any guy that even know this dude, I'm not even gonna go out with him. And I told him that honestly. I told him. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go get my nails done, and get myself back home and lay around and do nothing. Thank y'all for listening. This is my longest video, and if you're still here, thank you so much. You are an absolute um, valued subscriber, valued listener. I absolutely appreciate you. Please hit the subscribe button. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.